This is the BBC.
Hello, I'm Fee Glover and this is the Listening Project podcast. You've downloaded it from the mothership of Radio 4 in order to hear surprising, tender, thoughtful and sometimes mind-bogglingly honest snatches of conversation between friends, lovers, family members, all sorts really. Prepare to be delighted. Hello. Straight to it this week. There might be a theme of family support in this programme, but as you'll hear, each conversation is remarkably different, and we'll start with one between mother and daughter, Anne and Nicola. Anne had a stroke 10 years ago while she was on holiday in Italy. She went into a coma, had to spend 3 months in hospital there before coming back to a hospital in Belfast, and she was wheelchair-bound for 2 years and unable to speak, apart from using the phrase, happy days. It's a suitable phrase to be able to say because, as I think you'll hear, Anne sounds like a woman who can look on the bright side of life. She has now regained much more of her speech, but she's been left suffering from aphasia, which affects her ability to use language. Nicola is one of her 2 children. She also has a son. Nicola is a former Lord Mayor of Belfast and sits in the Legislative Assembly. She's married with a daughter herself. So here Anne and Nicola talk about how life has changed since Anne's stroke.
Because of your aphasia.
Yes.
And because I be working a lot and I've got Elena.
Yeah.
I really feel that we don't talk much at all.
I know what.
Or if we have conversations, they're very trivial.
Yes.
And they're very quick.
Yeah.
And it's something that I would like to change because we used to talk a lot.
A lot.
Before you had your stroke.
Yes, yeah.
And you would have confided in me in different things. And just feel that there's a barrier there.
I know. But you have your daughter.
I know, but I still need my mummy.
I know what. I love you, Nicola. Yes.
But it's sometimes hard to have conversations, mummy.
I know what. But
because you jump from things.
I know. I have aphasia.
I know, but do you think we talk enough? Are you happy with how we talk?
Not really.
And what would you like to change?
Me and you sit down on our own in the house. No interruption for anybody for half an hour.
It's a very precise time now you've put on it. But do you see sometimes, obviously because of what you've been through, that you repeat things?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have stories that you just...
Yes, I repeat everything. Mm-hmm. And Joe said, enough stories, okay?
He was probably on his 1000th version of...
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes I think you're more comfortable talking about things that you know.
Yes.
Things that you can remember.
Yes.
Not brand new conversations sometimes.
Yes, yeah. I know what. No.
But why?
I think I'm frightened.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's me.
I know what. I'm frightened, Nicola. Very frightened.
And why have you never said this before?
I know what. I have never spoken to your father, but I'm frightened.
But do you not think my daddy would like to have new conversations too?
I know. But it's my problem, Nicola.
But it's our problem.
I know.
But it's not a problem. It's not a big deal. If it's something that you're very frightened about, then nobody would want to do it. But if you do want to do it, don't let fear stop you, because look at you've overcame.
I know what. But I love my life more. I do. Yes, I do.
And even though you can't read, or
no.
Do you miss not having to do housework?
No. I had my day of it, Nicola. It's Joe's turn. He is a better cook than me. Don't say that.
Okay, your secret's safe with me then.
Nicola and Anne were recorded by Kathy Moorhead at BBC Radio Ulster. Now, if you'd like to join our project, we'd love to have you. It's simple. Sit down with someone you love or care about and have a conversation that really matters, like brother and sister Yusuf and Zara, recorded in London by our Uber producer, Louise Pepper. I've made her sound like a cab company. She's not, although you might want to rate this chat. I'd give it 5 stars. Yusuf was born in Turkey in 1997. It's not where he's from, though. His mother gave birth on an arduous journey that she and her husband had to take, fleeing Iraq after he had been involved in an uprising against Saddam Hussein. They'd had to leave behind all they knew, their careers, their comfortable life and their family. They made it to the UK, with Yusuf still just a baby, and eventually they were granted refugee status and are now full citizens. Yusuf is studying politics and international relations at university, and his younger sister Zara, one of 2 younger sisters, is doing her GCSEs.
I don't think I'd be as ambitious as I was if I had English parents and I grew up in England.
It's what, because of the struggle of being
I think so. I mean, Mum and Bub are crossing the ocean and the world and whatever for us to be here.
Mighty journey, yeah.
Mighty journey. I'm sorry, climbing up mountains, carrying you and stuff like that. I think if I didn't have that, I wouldn't strive to get A's. I wouldn't strive to get into the best unis to make them happy and stuff like that. I don't think 100%.
So do you think you owe them anything?
100%. There are very few people in this world that will sacrifice for you. And I think, especially nowadays, there are very few people who will stick by you and will be loyal by you through everything. So I think that's why it's important to appreciate what they've done. But appreciation isn't anything if you don't give it back. I think that's in my opinion.
I agree with you, because most of the things I would say 90% of the reason why I strive to achieve things in my life is to say, listen, Mum and Dad, Mama and Baba, you have fought something that we see we're seeing in the news now. People
Afghanistan and stuff like that.
The Mediterranean migrant crisis, where people are literally drowning with their kids to get to this country. They did that. I just think my motivation in life in this country is number one, I owe this country something.
That's true. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I owe this country to contribute to it, whatever. I want to get into politics. That's my area. We have you want to get into medicine. That's your contribution. That's my and I will go as far in public service to this country as possible to contribute to the country that open.
I'm sorry,
they've given me shelter.
They came in here with nothing, and then we had free NHS, free health service,
free healthcare, free housing, the world class education, an opportunity to go to basically the best universities in the world.
Acceptance as well.
And acceptance.
It's not we're not isolated.
We're not isolated. Then
we're not. We have I don't see stones being thrown at us.
No. Yeah. And okay, that's one part of my motivation. My second part is okay, Mum and Baba, I owe you something.
Yeah.
I fully owe you something.
It's true.
You have done all of that, and you think after all of that, we come to this country and I don't give back to you. Whatever that is, and I don't think it's monetary. I think it's beyond money. It's not even a money thing. It's a success. It's I just want Dad to look and say, okay, I did all of that. Yeah, it was worth it.
It's do you know what it's like? It's children are investment.
We are investments.
We are investment. So I'm not going to sit there and
kind of just mess about
and say, oh, do you know what?
But is that a good motivation? Okay,
good
no, because a lot of people have questioned me. I've had conversations with people wait, so your only motivation in life is to give back to your parents?
I don't think so. I also want to okay, this is a bit selfish, but I also want to make a name for myself. I'm not going to lie.
Part of me also wants to represent. Okay, part of me also wants to say, I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
I'm an immigrant.
Yeah, it's true.
Look, I have done something with my life.
I'm not
what the papers present me to be. I am not a statistic.
That's what we lack of. That's what we lack, I think, in the country a lot.
Yusuf and Zara. Our final chat is one that you don't often hear. It's about what happens when the physical aspect of a loving relationship is compromised. Mike and Karen are husband and wife, and they've been married for 25 years. It's a second marriage for both of them. They met when they were both married to other people. They had an affair and have been together ever since. Obviously, their love for each other had a serious impact on other people, and although Karen has managed to maintain a good relationship with her daughters, it's not been the case for Mike. But this part of his chat with Karen is about another part of their life. In 2014, Mike was diagnosed with prostate cancer and is having ongoing treatment which is having an effect on their love life.
There is one part of our relationship which has been a challenge over the last few years, and that has been quite difficult for me because I know that our deep relationship has been affected by it, and how I've have to sometimes say to you, because we haven't got the physical contact in our lovemaking anymore, I sometimes have to remind you that doesn't actually stop any other contact, which has been very difficult again for me now, because it's almost as if you have shut yourself off at times because you don't want to get involved in physical contact because you know you can't actually do anything about the end result. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. I suppose, yeah, as you say, it's probably the treatment I've had has affected me, and I suppose, yes, I have, if you won't be ignorant about that side of our life, the sort of closeness, etc. But you're a more passionate person in a way than I am. That's just the way we are, but
perhaps more needy is a better word of putting it, because it's just feeling needed, isn't it, and wanted.
I'm puzzled about wanted. I mean, we do things together. It's not as though
they're practical things, aren't they?
Well, yes, but practical things are also part of living together, a life together.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't say I don't love you anymore.
I know that you do love me deep down. It's just sometimes quite difficult for you to express it.
Yeah, perhaps because you're more touchy-feely than I was, but you...
And yet it's quite strange, isn't it? Because I think when we were together to start off with, there seemed to be no bounds.
Oh, yeah. I think.
Do you feel that?
Well, yes, it's difficult because in any relationship, there always tends to perhaps fall into a bit of a rut. I've been married 25 years, and it may be that I don't know, for some reason, sort of neglected that side. And then you've reminded me that that's what's lacking or would be lacking, and so you take it on board, and you can't. If it's not there, you can't put it there.
No.
So it's obviously it just needed rekindling again.
It did.
But
yeah.
I'm learning.
You are learning with quite a bit of prompting every now and then.
Mike and Karen were recorded by Namrata Varia at BBC Radio Leicester. That completes our little tour of chat duty for this week. Can I just alert you to the fact that if you visit our website, you can see some of our conversations visualised, it's such a modern term, that one, through quite enchanting animations done by students at some of this country's finest animation courses. It's a lovely way to while away a few minutes of your time lost in someone else's life because they want to share it with you. Oh, go on, you can't keep watching cat bloopers, can you? Until next time, happy listening and goodbye. So that's the download. Thank you for listening. If you're anything like me, I suspect you don't want to stop now, do you? So why not pop some more in between your ears and see what happens? Visit bbc.co.uk/listeningproject to fill up your tank.